Hey there, Geometry. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Math with Mullins. Today we're going to look at our lesson 5.4, Proving Triangles Congruent using angle, side, angle, and angle, angle, side. So we'll be able to look at both of those reasonings and figure out if triangles are congruent or not. And then this will also pretty much complete the triangle congruence theorems. So after this lesson, you'll be able to prove triangles congruent with all the things we've talked about so far. Let's go and get started. I'm going to type out a few of these definitions and then we'll draw some pictures to show what that looks like. So angle, side, angle congruence theorem states if two angles and the included side of one triangle are congruent to two angles and the included side on another triangle, then the triangles are congruent. And then angle, angle, side says if two angles and the non-included side of one triangle are congruent to the corresponding two angles and non-included side of a second triangle, then the two triangles are congruent. So we're going to go and draw a picture of what those look like because it is different from side, angle, side. What I like to think about is whenever you see angle, side, angle, that means you should be able to go in that order of angle, side, angle. For this one, I did kind of like a bow tie to make my two triangles. And I went ahead and labeled this as A, B, C, and then D and E here. And I'm going to go ahead and label some corresponding angles. So angle A corresponds to angle D. And then obviously angle C, both of these sides are going to be, both those angles are going to be congruent. And then the side is included. Okay? So again, notice that we have angle, side, angle, and angle, side, angle. Okay? Angle, angle, side would just be two angles back to back essentially. And again, I'm not the best drawer, but pretend those are congruent. And again, maybe we say this is A, B, C, and then D, E, and F. And again, I just want to see two angles and then the non-included side. So like angle A and angle D can match. Angle B and angle E can match. And then we'll say side BC matches side EF. So again, we see angle, angle, side, angle, angle, side. Okay? So once we have those two definitions down, if you need to pause it here to show a little bit more time. If not, we're going to be ready to go on and try these. For example, 1, state whether the triangles could be proven congruent if possible by angle, side, angle, or angle, angle, side. So in these first examples, I see angle, angle, and then this side is going to match. So we would say yes, due to angle, angle, side, and here's some labeling if you need it. Angle, angle, side, angle, angle, side. This next one, we don't have enough information. We have an angle and an angle here, and an angle here, angle there, but in order to prove that they are congruent, we need a matching side. So no, need a congruent side. That just would be an E, not a U, okay? For the next one, this could be tricky, but notice that these are parallel. So that means I could show some matching interior alternating angles. So those could be matching, and these could be matching, okay? And then the side that's going from top to bottom, that matches. So I have angle, side, angle, angle, side, angle. So yes, due to angle, side, angle. And then our last one does have matching angles, does have matching sides, but it is not in the correct order. We need angle, side, angle, or angle, angle, side, and we're getting angle, side, side. I do talk about this in class, so there might be a funny way to remember that one, but no, we don't have the proper order of angle, side angle, or angle, angle, side. Okay, so let's go ahead and move right into proofs. Yay! We are given that SQ bisects RQT, so I'm going to go and start putting some things here to help us, and RST. Okay, and then we want to prove that triangle QRS is congruent to QTS. So what I'm going to do first is say SQ bisects angle RQT and angle RST, and that is our given. And now I'm going to start to use some definition of angle bisectors. So angle RSQ is congruent to angle TSQ using the definition of angle bisectors. And then I can also say that angle RQS is congruent to angle TQS, also using the definition of angle bisectors. Then I notice the side is congruent. QS is congruent to QS using the reflexive property. So now we have angle, side, angle. So I can say triangle QRS is congruent to triangle QTS using angle, side, angle congruence theorem. Okay, flip over your paper. Let's look at example 3. Now this one could get tricky, especially with how you visualize parallel lines, but I want to help you maybe understand that a little bit better. So let's go ahead and write our givens down. Angle ABC is congruent to angle CED, and that'll be our given. Next thing that's given is line AB is parallel to line CE, so that's going to help us. So keep that in mind. And I'm going to go ahead and mark ABC and CED. There we go. And then these two lines are parallel. So given. And then C is midpoint of AD. Given. Okay. Because C is the midpoint of AD, that means AC is congruent to CD. So AC is congruent to CD using definition of midpoint. And right now I have an angle and a side, so what I could do is try to prove that this angle is congruent to this one. And remember, these are parallel lines, so I'm going to say angle BAC is congruent to angle ECD using the corresponding angles theorem. So remember, if I have parallel lines, that essentially is like this angle and this angle is the same as angle A and angle C. Now that I know that, I have angle, angle, side, so B, A, and then line AC is also equal to EC, line CD. So triangle ABC is congruent to triangle CED using angle, angle, side congruence theorem. And we have one more example after this one, again using some parallel lines. See if you wanna pause this one and try it on your own. If not, let's go ahead and click play and see where we're at. So LG is parallel to JM. So again, if you want to draw your little parallel marks there, that's our given. And it says H is midpoint of LM. So that means L to H, H to M are the same, also given. So I'm going to go and start there. LH is congruent to HM through the definition of midpoint. And then I'm also seeing some vertical angles right here, LHG and JHM. So angle LHG is congruent to angle JHM using vertical angles. And then because these are parallel lines, angle, I can do one of two things. I'm going to use this for alternate interior angles. Angle G is congruent to angle J, so LGH is going to be congruent to angle MJH using the alternate interior angles theorem. And now that I know that, I have angle, angle, side for my congruence triangles. So triangle LGH is congruent to triangle MJH using angle, angle, side congruence theorem. Okay, that'll conclude our notes today on lesson 5.4, angle, side, angle, and angle, angle, side. Hopefully this gives you some help. I know the parallel lines could get tricky, so in the event of that, draw your transversal, draw your parallel lines, and that should be able to help you identify which ones are which. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time when we work on some more proofs. Have a great day.